Yesterday we have discussed about the components, especially the copper conductors, maybe copper, different types of conductors, copper, aluminum, cadmium, copper, AAC, triple AC, ACSR, and supporting structures we have discussed. Then we have discussed about the insulators required. Okay. So, and we have also discussed this comparison between aluminum and copper conductors and why copper is a best conductor, and then again aluminum, there is a choice or replacement of copper. By considering the various points, we came across certain conclusion that wherever it is necessary, we are going for copper conductors. Otherwise, in 90% or 95% cases, we are going for aluminum as a conductor. Okay. The reasons behind we have discussed. Some trade names of conductors are there. Cu copper, Al aluminum, aluminum conductor, copper conductor. AAC means all aluminum conductors. Triple AC is there also, all aluminum alloy conductors. ACSR, aluminum conductor, steel reinforced. Cadmium copper conductor, CCC, galvanized steel conductor, GSC. So like this we can have. Then some line supports we have. Conductors are used for transmission and distribution purpose. Especially we are thinking of distribution here. So electrical energy that is distributed through distribution lines. So the distribution lines are or transmission lines are supported by pole structures, supported and isolated by insulators, and there are requirements of certain requirements of supporting structures like mechanical strength. You may have any type of supporting structure, maybe steel pole, steel tubular pole, rail pole, you may have RCC pole. So mechanical strength should good, and the supporting structure should able to withstand the stresses produced due to weight of the conductor, swing of conductor because of wind pressure and all. Okay. Then weight especially conductor should light in weight, so that it will give more means less mechanical stress over the supporting structure. So light in weight but sufficient strength, means there is a normally what we have, weight is associated with strength, but we have to find out the middle solution, that is sufficient strength along with less weight. Then erection of supporting becomes very easy if weight is less. Transportation of supporting is very easy if it is there. Then it should have less number of parts, assemble and disassemble. If you have major number of parts, then you have it becomes a complex structure, so less number of parts. Now, sometimes what we are having, not particularly for the steel poles, RCC poles or wooden poles or whatever, but for tower line, for transmission, the structure is supporting structure comes in terms of elements. So various elements you have to join together to form a tower as a supporting structure for the transmission line. So if you have more number of elements, then it is very difficult, then you need more time to assemble. So less elements, less number of elements or parts. Then you may have cost. Of course anybody will say that cost should less as far as possible or cheap. Then maintenance should less, again that is also requirement. zero maintenance, then we are very happy, but we cannot say zero, but less maintenance if it is possible you can have. Then it should have longer life. Life must be more as it is required, because normally we don't have much more money to expand over these particular structures. So the structure should at least withstand for next 15 to 25 years at least. So lifelong we cannot say, but longer life that is expected. Appearance should not get destroyed or pleasant. It should not cause any disturbance to other networks like communication network or any other network. It should be withstand adverse climatic conditions. Many times we have rain is there, storm is there, cold is there, hot summer is there. So worst climatic conditions you may have, this supporting structure has to face, and it is expected that the should have the transmission or distribution network should have withstanding capability to any such adverse climatic conditions if it occurs, or minimum damages to the lines or distribution or transmission line should be there. Then it is expected that the selection of supporting structure that is governed by especially means that is decided by, or in case of design it is these points are noted. So number one is the span between the supporting structure. It is expected that if you have steel poles 80 meters max, 50 to 80 meters, and for RCC pole you may go up to 100 meters. Span defines the number of poles. If span is more, then definitely the cost will be less. But you cannot extend much more plan. That you may have conductor should have sufficient clearance in between conductor and ground. That is to be also maintained. So cross sectional area of the particular conductor, especially span is associated with supporting structure, and cross sectional area of conductor is associated with current carrying capacity of the conductor. So cross sectional area should what we say cross sectional area should minimum as far as possible, but it should have sufficient current carrying capacity. Large cross sectional area means large size of conductor, large cost, heavy cost. Okay. Then that operating voltage of line, that is also the parameter. What height should be there, what should be the span, which type of supporting structure is to be used. So operating height is also voltage is also the parameter that also decides the or governs the selection of the supporting structure. Then cost and local conditions also there. If you are erecting transmission line in what particular location, it is seashore, it is mountain, it is hilly area, it is flat, pathar, whatever we have areas. So it depends upon the location also. The selection of the particular material for supporting structure, for conductors, for insulators depends. So you have to consider in your mind these major parameters or points while selection of the material, particularly for the distribution line network. Overhead, what we can say. Then we are having the another parameter what we called spacing between the conductor. So spacing between the conductor, so if you have three-phase lines, spacing between the two conductors, spacing between conductor and ground. So these are also the important. Deciding the spacing between the conductor in single phase or in three-phase lines, we should have some parameters, or we should have some points in our mind. We should normally look after this. So these points are especially what we say the temperature. Temperature is the parameter which decides the temperature. Also, if you are erecting the transmission or distribution line, normally the location is cold, normally the location is hot, normally the location based on that, based on this temperature. So you know that there is a resistance temperature or temperature coefficient of the material, and especially the temperature coefficient of the material, that is the temperature coefficient of conducting material. Now we are manufacturing the conducting material. We are not directly using pure copper, pure aluminum, pure cadmium or something like as a conductor material. We are processing the we are specially manufacturing by design the conducting material, like copper conductor, aluminum conductor, all aluminum alloy conductors, ACSR conductors, triple AC conductor, AAC conductor, CDs में CCC conductor, cadmium copper, galvanized conductor. So what we have, these are the specially made conductors. Are you understand these things what I am saying? So these are the special conductors. So every particular material you have specially designed should have resistance temperature coefficient. That means it should low. Means expansion or contraction of the conductor should minimum as far as possible, and if it is 0 then it is very good, because it automatically increase the or decrease the tensile strength of the conductor. Yeah, finally sometimes breaking of the conductor, damage to the conductor, failure of the transmission line, open circuit of the transmission line, anything may happen. Then we know that the particular we cannot say for 12 months, but for many 3 to 4 months period, especially in monsoon season, we are having the wind pressure is more. So normally we see that this, because of the wind pressure, because of the heavy storm, we may have these climatic condition may leads to failure of the distribution network mechanically. So wind pressure, your conductor should able to withstand the wind pressure. काही प्रमाणात wind pressure withstand का अगदीच calamity किंवा that particular storm, if it is a very heavy, we cannot say. जर तुम्ही जर मागे if you see in 3rd of the June we have climatic condition in Konkan area, 3rd June to 2020. So the worst condition it was there. This major distribution lines got failed, especially not failed, but wooden structures get broken, wooden poles, you may have RCC poles get broken, or sometimes they get bent, conductors get spreaded, get broken, and entire distribution network in the Konkan area, especially Raigad district, Ratnagiri district, Thane districts, it has been observed. Mumbai also it was there, but we have already awareness about this. Mumbai is having underground distribution system. Thane is having underground distribution system. But Thane rural, Palghar, Raigad, Ratnagiri, Sindhudurga, these rural places, major distribution lines get collapsed because of the heavy wind pressure. So this you should take into account. Ice deposition, that is to be considered. Tensile strength of the conductor, that is to be considered. Corona formation, that is to be considered. So ice deposition, especially we don't have example to quote here in Maharashtra. 1 minute.